to a good start coming from this Open League, which means that I want to now know, can they keep it up? Can they keep things going? As we get the fairest plane of them all. Direct center, it does start to happen. And this means everyone gets to go where they want, and they are living the dream.
That is probably one of the most straight north to south planes I've ever seen, in the dead center middle of it as well. That is, yeah, as you said, as fair as can be. Sure, if you're a far eastern or far western team, then it might not be your plane. But then again, I mean, you're an edge team, so you can't really expect the circles to go to you all the time. Now, we did see some confrontations early on in the past 2 games. We saw Se7en and Art of War inside of Pachinki. We saw a bit of a scuffle down towards Fairy Pier. And, well, I mean, it seems like at least one of those fights will be happening once more.
Yeah, there's still this bit of contention, right? In
they
terms of who's going to take who. Yeah, it's more they've like maybe taken a few pop shots and then backed away, right?
They just share the loot.
Sharing is caring.
I mean, and you can easily share Pachinki if you're 2 teams that are willing to not fight. I think I speak of experience that sometimes teams also want to fight for Pachinki a whole hell of a lot, and that can be extremely difficult for teams to do and difficult for teams to plan for. And I can see now VG as well. They're going up there. They're saying, we know that Se7en are inside of Pachinki. Let me just borrow that vehicle real quickly. As the circle goes north, and this is going to be an interesting one. Now we've had an east, a west, and a northern one. Wonder if that last game is going to go down towards military. VG, they have... they've got all the vehicles they want, but will they also get all the loot they want? That's the question. Look at how many southern teams that are here. Southern teams. And look at how big, open, and empty that northern side is.
Yeah, it's going to be giving a lot of space. Quickmath will be very happy. They can just reposition themselves wherever they want or just sit where they are if they want to. They can do a lot of gatekeeping from this spot. Swarm will also be very capable of holding on here. They've got North Georgia Pole and a bit of Zaki in there where Tok is currently occupying. But there is still about 30% water within this circle early on, so it's going to be wondering where this goes next from here. Yeah. Can cause a bit of a problem when it comes down to how some of these teams end up fighting for the very little bit of space that gets left at the end.
And if you're 4AK, the team we just saw on the screens before, how do you rotate on this one? It's pretty much dead center north. I mean, we had a dead center plane followed by dead center northern circle, and you can go east of Wedge Bridge. That's pretty much your own call. You know there's a Milta team, you know there's a Fairy team, so that's not going to be the biggest difference maker. The only thing that I take off of this is that the teams that are out east, they'll all be looking to rotate around Yasnaya to go far north. I'm not expecting anybody to want to sit in the southern side of the river off of this circle because it went as far north as it did. So maybe go east if you're 4AK, but don't cross behind. Maybe just take one of the bridges, because I would assume those bridges have been crossed earlier on. I'm not taking into play here that a lot of these teams will be thinking, oh, it's going to go back down south.
Well, last game, didn't they? They rotated in the blue still. They're quite happy in phase 1 to be slower on it. So maybe they'll go for a similar style now to help them actually avoid a lot of teams and keep themselves in a better spot overall. Exactly. We'll have to wait and see how it plans out. But it's some telling signs already from what we've seen in the opening 2 games from some of these teams.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, on the northeastern side up there, you have this. Now you have the entire open side on the right side. On the western side, well, you pretty much only have Georgia Bowl to drive through. So you got to consider which of these 2 options are the better ones. So in those type of circles, I would probably prefer going out on the eastern side. Now VG off to 2 rough starts. They have yet to get themselves their first point. But I feel for these guys. I mean, they're, again, a team. We talked about teams. They want to come out off to a good start, get things going. It's not one of those, oh, you're just an open league team. They have not had the best start, but I am very faithful in them getting things done here. Because I saw some of the performances they had in their open league games, and they're clearly a very, very talented team. And as you said yourself, James, they have quite a bit of support behind them.
Oh, yes, they do. They've got a lot of fans out there wishing them well. Obviously, from where they come from, they're getting a lot of home crowd support as well. So they're looking to do it proud. But like we spoke about, right, it's not the easiest for these guys in terms of actually where they're currently sat and then all their ping can work out at times.
Exactly, that could be difficult. But also for the guys playing against them, to be honest. Oh, that's a headshot coming towards Maga. Hoekstra ain't gonna have him shoot out his tires on his vehicle. I'm afraid it did happen anyway, but Maga has to fall back inside the house there and get himself meted up once more. And I mean, as you said, I mean, ping, it's gonna be hard for them, sure, but it's also gonna be hard for the opponents because it can work both ways, right? With the high ping, sometimes you can do the whole thing where you like peeker's advantage. You peek a corner, shoot, you go back down, and then what the guy sees that gets shot at, he gets shot at technically before he spots the opponent, right? So it can kind of it can work both ways, and there are some players that are really good at I don't want to call it abusing it because it's not something they do. I mean, high ping is just high ping. Yeah. But there are some players that are actually good at getting those advantages off of playing with a higher ping.
Well, if you're used to it, right, you learn to kind of compensate for it in many situations. But
Hi, Savage.
just a rock there, mate. Don't worry. He's obviously just talking away. I was like, oh, wait a second. The Deegs, he's got to be careful on the bike. Hidrix taking, woo, a spam.
Yep, that's a spam.
That was the fastest clicking he could possibly do. He does land one shot, but that's all he's going to get. Deegs will escape with his life and most of his health as well.
He sacrificed the aim for the bullet speed. I like that. Or the fire rate.
He's
I mean,
just
there
getting his
are
hand warmed
players
up.
that can tap, maybe not that fast, but close to it and be like surprisingly good on their targets too. That is very impressive to see. But of course, that's the thing. When we are in the creme de la creme, the top of PUBG as we know it, and these guys, they're delivering.
And look at it where we are at the moment. So many teams already working their way across. Swarm going to go just up towards the northwest of shooting range, all gathering together now. PG hot on their heels, though, with a fast rotation in. Winside haven't gone anywhere just yet, neither have VG, Desperado. Se7en only just starting to make their way across. And you saw Tornado Energy. They are slowly off from the eastern side, going to make their way all the way around Yasnaya. But it's 4AK that we spoke about. Are they just going to wait for this blue to come in? And it's not far away from them. As Stella, they are in this, and they are looking to see if they can get some more frags, because they have been getting engaged early on and not actually suffering too many casualties at these points.
No, they've been pretty good at getting those early game kills. It has mainly been on rotations, though. And here, I mean, if they were to engage on this, it's a team that's already gotten out of their vehicles, already set themselves up shop. But now you can see Moonlight. He's getting a little aggressive trying to get some information. And Cass on the other side could catch one off here. But they do not know that Moonlight is right around the corner.
Damage being done. And Tarlans, this is a team that have had a couple of early endings for them. Not been the greatest. Moonlight did manage to sneak in a little bit, but then eventually got found on the previous game. He was the solo player while 3 of his members were far away from him and got eliminated. But what can they do this time around?
Gotta give it to them. They've dared. They haven't come out on the better end of the fights they've taken, but they've dared to take them to begin with. And I mean...
They're not being bullied. That's the main thing, right?
Exactly. Moonlight could easily get 1 or 2 knocks if you place it correctly.
I love Mize. He's doing what I would do. This is perfect.
Mises all great up there, and yeah.
Take the risk. Risk versus reward. And he's actually got a boat to do it in, so even better for him. Could be the difference between taking some kills and taking a better spot here going along it.
Look at Moonlight. One little overstep from Cass, and that's going to be him down before he knows it. He's at half HP too. He's hearing him, that's for sure. It's just a question of whether Moonlight wants to aggro on this one. They are split 2-2 with Panko and Ermac on the eastern building over there. And you can see now Cass falling back. He's not getting the info that he wants. And he's going to play it safe off of that one. I like to see it. Don't overstep. Don't over-aggress early game. There's no reason to do it.
So 4AK only just making their rotation over. We've got Moonwolf still in Milter Power at the moment, just chilling out for now. And this is the smart play from the teams on the furthest parts away, right? Because this means that they will at least be confident that no other team's going to be sneaking up behind them and shooting them in the behind.
Vici as well. I mean, they're changing up their rotations here. They tried to go early in the first game. They got torn to pieces when they did that. Game number 2, they go a little safer, but still somewhat early and try to go for the center spots. Now they said, you know what? We ain't going center. We're not even going up in the same direction we've been going the last couple of games. We're sending it far on the opposite side of where we looted, and we're just going to be sitting on the edge, letting all these other guys do what they want to do, and then we'll actually maybe get to fire some bullets these games. Because that's been their thing, right? They've just been taken out on rotations. And hopefully for them, they'll get things going here.
Now PG fragging out like crazy on the previous game. I want to see what they can do now. If they can get themselves in a better spot alongside it as well. It could be very worrying for a lot of these teams.
New circle is gonna pop. Where are we going? Oh, that's a lot of water, and it's Se7en dead center. And not only is it a lot of water, but we don't have on water, we have on land, and the majority of that land is extremely open. Once you go up by where Quickmath at everything north of that, it is just extremely open. So if you don't have some of those compounds, there's just not a whole lot to play for. And already now, in Circle 2, you're going to see teams crashing Se7en because they simply have nothing else to play from.
And there's also 16 teams and still 64 players here.
That's not going to last long, though. I can tell you that already. That is not going to last you long.
And Moonlight wants to make sure it doesn't last long. He's trying to land a few shots on the rotating cars, but they will escape at least for now.
The big migration north has started, and all these teams are trying to find any place to call their own. There just ain't a lot of them available. Se7en currently one of the few spots that is actually still up for grabs. Could easily house 2 or maybe even 3 teams in a disparate situation. Calvin, though, taking out, rotation kills coming in, and he's going to be the first one down and out.
Nelman and Compot getting the job done there, so they'll start off strong against Desperados. They need to continue this especially as more teams are going to be rotating in consistently past them here as they control the eastern side.
Ooh,
Nail up again.
Hello there, buddy. Goodbye, helmet rip.
He's just on point. This has been a really good showing from the last 2 games. Compot spraying out onto the other Desperado players rotating in.
Good pick for the team and Nail. I mean, he's a good player, and he's showing right there that he deserves the spot that he's given.
You can hear all the shots rattling off. If you've been able to grab a compound here, you are oh so lucky because there is definitely not enough room for 16 teams within this. And Art of War, got PG close by. They're well aware of it after the headshot came in, but it's more about how they get out of it or if they can fire back onto them.
Yeah, we still have 5 teams that haven't made their way in, and 4 of them are all... Oh, 3 of them make that. Sorry, they're just driving really wide from each other. In Moonwolf, VG, and Se7en are all trying to come in from the east, and there's not a whole lot of spots available. They do have the northeastern compound. But other than that, they have to drive all the way down towards Se7en, and that's going to be a rough drive if you've got teams like Desperados and Elgiganten kind of holding you off in that rotation.
Good job there from Drone as well. He was on his own until Top came over to give him some backup, but he managed to hold off Winside, knock down 1 player, and even get the finish off despite the smokes being down.
All these rotations coming in 4AK. They're crossing over now, so you see it. The migration up over the Stalver Hills, and ooh, does that hear these guys rotate? He must hear them, but he doesn't see the vehicles just on the other side of the hills.
Yeah, that Exo not taking any shots yet, but he's running down to see what he may be able to do. He can also pass the information on to his teammates who are parked up at some trees not too far away from this.
Frank, that's a ballsy place to just hold.
Yeah, just chilling.
They clearly are not expecting opponents around. Now shots are fired, and Frank is just going to have to start driving immediately, because that is not the kind of place you want to be holding still in a buggy.
Yeah, you do not want to be standing still at any point when it is this tight and this close quarters, potentially, because there's just so much room. And this eastern side that Tornado Energy are still holding off here has got BG and Se7en trying to make their way in.
Yeah, they heard all the vehicles and also heard some shots fired, so they knew that there's more than 1 team up and around there. Krabik takes a big shot towards him, has to fall back down, and for Se7en, they're far on the edge, but now the new circle could maybe benefit them. It could also go horribly, horribly wrong.
Moonwolf here, the latest team into it. AK have even found their way down the south near Tarlans, and this is not a joke. We are having some of the craziest circles for Group B to kick this off with. We still have about 40% water in here, and Se7en is the only thing that really remains as 4 others are getting picked apart.
And we've only lost 4 players. We've only lost 4 players. Look at this circle. There's 3 compounds remaining, and we're in circle 3. Se7en is going to be the magnet for, I'm going to say something like 10 teams now. They're all going to, they're just going to be sending it. There's nowhere to stop before you hit Se7en.
My notes now contain second circle, 40% water, center on Se7en. Third circle, 40% water, center Se7en. This is going to be interesting.
They're all sending it in. There are some spots you can play from the outside, but those spots are what you call priority areas in this circle. So you'd assume if you're coming in late now, like Tornado Energy or Moonwolf or some of these guys that are still on the edge, you just wouldn't stop to scout them. You're going full speed. You can't stop to look from anywhere because you're on the shoreline here and you're going to be so exposed to Desperado and Elgiganten. So you cannot really go take those good spots because you're just going to be saying, guys, we're not going to stop to scout them. They're taken already. Even though now they aren't. But it's just, there's no way for you to find out.
Tarlan's getting active though. 4AK may have bypassed them, but Elgig are going to be caught by him. And we're looking at this fight potentially to go off. Fiji, it's their time to shine, but instantly washout. He starts off strong, damage being done, and this is not looking good. 1 player flushed out instantly. VG need to find a way to react, and Vezu, he's going on the hunt. Vezu believes he can get this done. He's going to turn around the corner. Oh, and shoots him in the back. He wasn't even looking at him. A good finish off here. Now, what can Blue do? He misses it.
Wow.
Gets headshot put back on towards him. And VG, this is not looking good. They're out in 16th place, and Moonwolf, they got ahead of him on that rotation, and they made him pay the price for it.
Complete annihilation, and that happens twice. PG going down as well. Had a good performance in Quarry last game, but they got melted too, and that's just the thing here. Look at this circle. There's just not a whole lot to play from. We know the next circle has to go away from water, so it's gonna, well, at least for the most part, include Se7en, but Jesus, nobody's banking on this one going west. Everyone is saying it's going to go east of the center road here.
More shots coming out as Swarm are going to do some damage on the 4AK. 4 others, they seem to be under pressure. I've seen them get knocked, get picked apart hugely here. They can't be far from not going back up.
Also from an OCD perspective, everything has just been underlined in the middle.
Yeah.
Like the plane straight down, the circle's just been centering right on the dot here. Tony trying to get an angle, but there are just too many faces coming his way. wow, on the flip side of things, though, Ribbon Bent, they take the care of them for him. Tony was the only one to go down, and that's going to be Tarlans. Down and out. They got a few kills their way, I believe, but quick annihilation of them as they see themselves out in 14th.
Just in time of the circle there for Art of War as well. Phase 3, it's not the end of the world, but Tony will at least be able to get up and move forward.
Yeah, they're hoping that they're the only team to hope that the circle is going to hit the western side instead of the eastern one. We'll see. Not this shift, but the next one, where and how things are going to happen. Circle goes it as expected. Right down the dot. I mean, it's just right down the middle. Right down the middle we go. 4 teams inside of Se7en so far, and well, we'll see if any more wants to join them.
Well, it's certainly making sure Group B has an interesting understanding of how things will kick off here for them in Contenders. It's going to be really putting them to test their might here. Ooh, long nade. Grab it.
The mortar coming in from the shack.
Spots it out. He won't be hit by it just yet, but he may be hit by someone else as more is being done around him. 3D Max finds Phantom on the floor, and otherwise he's going to come in, no problem at all. Gets himself an additional kill to work with as Krabic is still on the hunt for more of the players, but it's for AK after 2 good games, going to find themselves being completely eliminated here.
Yeah, this is a rough one. Edelweiss played it really, really smart from the backside there. He had the offside position, a little more distance to it, had the better overview, took down a player trying to flank around. Now they get to do a 4v3 push on this place, but it's so hard to breach these warehouses.
Yeah, 3D Max have this on lockdown. It's going to come down to maybe a well-placed nade or so. As for us, we said about them continuing to get knocked down. They're going to go out in 12th places. Quickmath is going to finally find them.
Yeah, we see it right here. The thing is, there's just 2 entry points. You don't have those windows on the side you can peek in from and whatnot. So Hitrick, looking at one side, it's really hard to breach. And honestly, for Se7en, they just have to sit here, wait for them to get out of the next circle potentially and hold them off. That would be the smarter play. Don't try and force anything and run inside.
Well, we know how aggressive Se7en can be, but are they going to make the right choices once again?
What?
This is huge. Desperados. The grenade meta is real. They get the job done, and Moonwolf go down in 11th. Brilliant play from Desperados.
Fake throws a nade over as he sees the vehicles coming in. He completely times it to perfection and then finishes them off with it too. That Fake was pure knowledge on how to cook the nade, how to throw it, and how to get those kills, and you got them right there.
Timing getting it done as Art of War will now make their way inside the circle. Still focused more towards this west side, but they got Quickmath over towards the east of them. There's still a fight between Se7en and 3D Max waiting to kick off, and if this circle doesn't go their way, then it's going to be a long time for them to try and push into Se7en.
And Se7en is playing it really smart, in my opinion. You can see here they're holding the buildings. Again, as much as there's only 2 entry points for people to push in through, there's also only 2 exits for the 3D Max team. Se7en, they're constantly looking on the north side. They don't want to let anyone push them, and now they're just holding the doors here. Ooh, are they actually going to commit to it?
They're so aggressive. Se7en never give up. Wago finds himself knocked. A headshot landed onto Hidrick, and he's going to find himself out of it.
Wow.
Brilliantly played there from Se7en. What a way to get it done. It's not easy to push into here at all, and they do it in style. That pure aggression and sick aim getting it done.
We talked about how hard it is to push these sorts of buildings, and now sure they were 1 man in the advantage, but only getting 1 person knocked there. Really impressive play coming in from Se7en. Now, we talked about them. They came in 2nd place in the kickoff cup, where it was a half-half between the Contenders and the Pro League teams. They were up there. They were fighting with the best, and they almost got themselves into the top spot. Liquid, though, they were doing, well, I mean, better than anyone else, obviously, since they won, but really good performance nonetheless.
Now, 3D Max have had an 8th place, a 9th place, and a 10th place. It's getting worse for them, and they even had a good spot to fight from at that point. But remember, they did lose a player early on, and Se7en were able to do it. Se7en stay in that compound, but the circle still covering Se7en, more over towards the west, and guess who gambled that? It was Art of War. It may have paid off now for him.
You say that, but everything from where they are right now to Se7en itself is one big, open, flat pancake. All you have to play from that isn't taken yet is on the eastern side of the city. You have a bit of a half-pipe looking kind of thing over there, a bit of a valley running through the little dirt road up there, and you have some trees up there on the northern side too. Everything else, you're going to be quasi exposed to the city, and you can see Elgiganten, they're going for that spot as we speak.
Elgi looking to rush into it, like you're just saying. Deegs trying to make it happen. Needs to get himself healed up.
Yeah, this right here is all that was available, and now it's not. There are shacks. Sure, if you're going to commit to a shack, then that's an option, but for anyone else, ain't a whole lot to go for.
Elgi will take full cover here, but plenty of nades coming out towards him, and this time Tornado going to be throwing them up. Got to make him go the distance, though. Stella still in the houses as well.
And that's the thing for the guys that are inside of Severny. They can't really commit too hard and focusing on the guys who are on the other side of the road because they know that there are other teams inside the city too. So every time you peek that window, you gotta expect people to be looking your way as well.
Se7en. Oh no, they come out. They're in the open. They moved a little bit further forward, but actually it's closer towards Quickmath down in the south. So they're looking to clear up some of the teams on the edge. But is it even going to be possible as these nades continue to barrel out? Players are getting knocked down. That's 2 knocked now. Krapik's going to get revived. Otherwise, oh, he tries to go in to save his teammate. Will find his chance to get it done, but nades are coming out.
Yeah, as much as these nades are doing damage, it's just hard to really... I mean, they cannot push this road. They cannot cross to get the finish off. That's just how it is. They have to accept that they got the knock timers down lower now, and they cannot run out of it here. They're inside the circle, though. I'm pretty sure that Se7en has to leave. Yep, the Shack would have been in, but there's no reason to sit around for that long. They will have to leave here. And Quickmath, where they can stick around, but they have Art of War buff them too.
Now Quickmath, Swarm, Art of War, and Se7en with 4 players left alive as Desperados. They are just getting torn up here by Tornado.
Elgiganten and Tornado Energy sharing the kills in there. And are they actually committing on the push here? We talked about aggression, but this is not something you see from anybody but teams like Se7en.
They do not hold back. If you were any other team, I'd just be scared of them doing a rush like this onto you. Pure precision in their aggression when they push out, and they're happy to do it as a unit. As Peltzage, he's up in the house, and he's sadly the player who's isolated and alone, which means that Quickmath might have a bit of a rough time for him. He manages to get the first knock, tries to hold on, but it's not going to work out, and he's instantly flushed. And that means that Se7en will be able to bring all their players up here, take control of this house, and now they've got a 4v2 on their hand. They're looking to do a lot of damage onto Quickmath, but they've all got to be careful, because this new circle comes in, it may not even benefit them.
They just have to keep on going. One nade through here would be a crazy, crazy kill. Look at this, Mies. Prone down with the M249 in hand. If there's any weapon you want to be spraying around the corner with, that's the one right here. 71 bullets in the mag. And he's just going to be laying down here, praying, hoping they're going to be coming their way. Tuho, as you can see on your minimap there, has the position in the shack. No one else is really contesting him there. So he can play from that as he pleases. That's a nade thrown in the building. Not going to do any damage.
Saw there, Elgig was getting the damage done long ways away. Now remember, this circle pops and starts moving a lot faster than the others, so they can't really wait this out. Se7en know it's going to be time to strike very soon. And 2 Euro is going to have to deliver some huge cover fire here for the Quickmath boys if he wants to hold on to his teammates there. Mies still holding on, looking for the spray and pray to be done. Who's going to be first to eat it? He's still in the smoke at the moment. Fake's gone down. That means Desperado's out in 9th. Oh, wow. Mies finds himself getting 1 knock, but he's instantly flushed out. Buster's run past the player. He can't see through the smoke. He's waiting to see how it can go down.
They can't see anything in there. You see, oh no, don't run over your teammate. We saw Art of War taking some casualties just before as well, so they know that are they not expecting him to be there? So you could get yourself a crazy amount of kills. I guess only go for the flush step, but he does get the finish off. I was gonna say, you better not flush that guy right now. You better shoot the guy that is shooting at your teammate. He gets him down, but now Art of War is there to be dealt with too.
I screamed out yes because we now no longer get an Encelenso cam. We get him to frag out. It was a meme that we made in phase 1 of Encelenso being the solo player alive for his team over and over again. But this time he comes in to save the day.
So Rip nades Tuho, Tuho nades Rip, and so the story goes. Encelenso by himself has a rough run to make practically impossible at this point, and Art of War, they're just doing everything they can to stay put. Jumbo away, 4 bullets in the chamber is all he has left, and he really doesn't want to waste these bullets.
And the thing is, this is because teams like Stellar have been here for so long. So he needs his other teammates with DMRs or something to take these shots at this point. Or he might even have a go now, and he actually does.
Wow, through the smoke, 2 Art of War out in 7th place. Stellar, they were sitting in a good spot coming into this game, and now they're in it once more. The entire South has just been cleared with Encelenso taking out Quickmath. Done in 6th place. This is their spot to loot, but these guys up here, we're not letting them have it easy.
5 teams remain.
And they're
multiple with 3 players.
If
the
this
south
circle
is
goes
completely
south.
empty, and they're all going to have to run out if it pops. They're all going to be crying if that does happen. Elgig trying to hold on to the side, so you get a few shots going off. Just want the little bit of lag popping in there.
If this circle goes south, and we're in phase 6, this could be the game ending in the next phase.
Oh wow!
I don't recall seeing a game end in circle 6 for a very long time, and it does. There's only going to be one house left. Wow.
Elgig already make their way down thinking, we need to get our move on.
Elgiganten can play really well off of this one. If Nels can somehow, you can see it in the distance up there, if he can get up to that rock, there's no one that'll be able to get an angle on him whatsoever. And they can bank on him sitting there because it's going to be inside the circle. And if they can make the precision with the vehicles that they have up on that hillside, they can just sit up there and let everyone else fight inside the city.
And if they can get the vehicles in without them being blown up, they can get some additional cover if they need it.
Exactly. Ooh, that is a very burning bike, though. Don't want to take that one. Does have a US, as you can see, though. Savage trying to apply some pressure. For them, though, they just cannot risk getting knocked there. It's going to take too long, and as you can see now, Swarm is sending it. They're going for the fully committed push, and I like it. The earlier that you can get out here, the earlier that you'll be able to sit here while everyone else is fighting inside the city. Really smart rotation from Swarm.
Giving themselves a hut to hide behind, at least for now. They're in the circle, and they're in the best spot as of now. Tornado looking to make a move soon.
Ooh, jump away. Needs to land these bullets. It's through the smoke, though. It's hard to do, but Tog is there to get himself the knock off. Max steals the kill. Deeks tries to drive on off, and he's going to go in the distance, and he's going to go blown up to pieces, and that should be... No, actually, no. Savage is still alive.
Savage holding the same area. He was going to be the last player to go, and now they may not think he's there fully.
Oh, he is throwing nades, though.
He's giving it away. He was like, they probably know anyway. He doesn't want to risk the ninja mode.
I'm surprised at where they wanted to go here. They probably wanted to go all the way south to the shack. This is a long run. Yeah, then Venator get himself a double. Finishes off one as well. Urban Warfare at its best. Tornado out in 5th.
Tornado just got completely flushed by one player. Venator getting the job done. Impressive push, and Winside, they're not going to stop anytime soon.
Almost at the ankle there, but he's all by himself. He doesn't have his teammate nearby there. Spread a little bit. Jambaway's in the other house, and he needs to buy himself some time and potentially get a good off angle on his opponents here.
You can still play from this house as that comes out, spraying one down, looking for the second as well. Doesn't manage to close the door, wants to push out into it. Job done, and that is absolutely huge. Winside down in 4th.
He has 23 bullets left and 17 in his spare weapon. Swarm still 3 guys alive. Vac is on the far edge of the circle, but so are Savage. They're playing from each their side, and wow, Savage gets the shift. But even though he's this close to the circle, I'm not sure he's gonna have any cover. We're talking 2 meters, 5 meters, but that could be just enough to push him on the other side of that one rocket that he had to play with.
And Swarm know exactly where he is.
Yeah.
This is Swarm's game to lose. You are 4 versus 1 versus 1. This should be the game for these guys to step it up.
And Aliyah playing it really, really smart right now. They know they're 4 guys up. They know they have the numbers. They know approximately where their opponents are. Aliyah going all the way down south, even though it's outside the circle, to get this info in an off-angle position. Really, really, really smart playing. Don't sit in there, though. Just come out and shoot people.
Yeah, go a step ahead. Take the advantage point.
Don't dismantle my point. There you go. Thank you. Holding off Savage. He knows that he has to leave eventually. Vac is going to try and throw some smokes off here. This is going to be a fight for 2nd place for Vac and for Savage. You can see he's just trying to hold him off up there.
Shots being made here. Savage does manage to land one. Vac now trying to fight off as well. Managed to grab himself some more bullets to fight with.
He does have 4 smokes. Could potentially be a chance of him doing something here, but as you can see, they're all focusing their fire on the door there.
He does manage to sneak out. On top of another smoke being used. Swarm start to push forward and take a bit more of a central position. Nades going out towards Vac, and this is where he has to be so careful.
Yeah, look at that. Swarm never had to engage the fight early. Drone takes him out with a nade. Savage now all by himself. Has to realize at this point that he's won before. They don't spot him immediately. Drone does get the angle on him there in the end, but they cannot seem to find him.
He is ducking and diving happily right now. They send the car straight in. He tries to shoot onto him. Aliyah manages to get it done. 7 kills and a win. And the Swarm were able to swarm everyone this time around. They take our 3rd game of today.